San Diego. The San Francisco 49ers against the San Diego Chargers. A lot at stake for both teams in this contest. Absolutely perfect day. I'm Pat Summerall here. For the Chargers, the AFC Championship, the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. For the 49ers, basically the same thing, although they have a lot of it locked up already. With me, John Madden, as usual. And John, first of all, let's talk Chargers. What about their approach to today's game?
Well, I think they just have to get back to playing championship football. They know that they can clinch their division with a win today, but I think more than that, they started out as a real hot team, and then they kind of cooled off. They didn't look good Monday night against the Raiders. Bobby Ross said they got whipped on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and I think they just have to start playing championship football. I think they have to be able to run the ball, and Stan Humphries is going to have to get the ball to his outside receivers.
For the 49ers, they've won the NFC Western Championship. They have all of the tiebreakers in favor of them. They have a lot at stake, however, in home field and advantage throughout the playoffs, but they are still regarded by most as the best team now in professional football. What do you think?
I think they want to keep that. I think right now, if you say who's the best team in the National Football League, it's the San Francisco 49ers. I think they're playing better than anyone. I think Steve Young right now is the best player in the National Football League. So they have that going in December, and they want to keep that. They want to keep that roll going. Deion Sanders has really helped their defense. They have the whole package now. They want to keep it throughout December and bring that whole package with the home field into the playoffs.
And we'll have a chance to see that offensive machine of the 49ers first as John Carney will kick off in the direction of Dexter Carter. Carter will handle it at the 11. Some doubt about whether or not he'd be able to play, but play he does. And a good return up to the 30 where the 49ers will take over. Let's look at that explosive starting lineup led by Steve Young. And is he ever hot? 69% completion percentage. Wallace, Apollo Oates, Derek Deese at right guard, Harris Barton. They're getting back healthy and they're very effective. Those who'll handle the ball, Jerry Rice, the great one. Hard to say, hard to use that word without applying it to all of those who catch the ball and run with it for San Francisco. Fake to Ricky Water. To Jerry Rice. First down, San Francisco. The timing, everything is just about perfect on this San Francisco offense. The defense. And we'll hold up on the defense just a second. Those of you who watch Green Bay overwhelm the Chicago Bears, welcome to Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. First possession of the day for the 49ers, Steve Young. Intended for William Floyd. Let's look at the San Diego defense now. The front four, O'Neal, Davis, Lee, and Mims. The three linebackers, the great junior Sayal, Gibson, and Griggs. And in the secondary, Harper and Gordon, the corners, Richard and Darren Carrington, the two safety men. Second and 10, 49ers. Ricky Waters and William Floyd behind Steve Young. To throw it again. Incomplete. Intended for Waters.
You know, you're talking to the Chargers yesterday about playing the 49ers. The two things they have to do, they feel, is to put pressure on Steve Young and squeeze the pocket, or as Bobby Ross says, put a cage around Steve Young. Then the other thing is Steve Young is going to complete passes. The receivers are going to catch passes, but when they do, they have to tackle them. No big plays.
Keep him in that cage. Bobby Ross said over and over. Three wide receivers, Young to throw it again. Into the pocket. Through the hands of John Taylor, incomplete. He was open.
You're not going to see a lot of that. That was a perfect pass. That hit John Taylor right in the hands. In fact, it hit him so hard in the hands you could hear it all the way up here. That thing just slapped right through his hands.
Bounced off his shoulder pads.
Yeah, that's because he had his hands too close to his shoulder pads.
Darian Gordon back deep. Klaus Wilmsmeyer will punt. Gordon standing back at about the 15. Grossmeyer's kicks a good one. At the 10. To the 20 is Gordon. Adam Walker down to stop him. 1st and 10 for the San Diego Chargers. Led by Stan Humphries, number 12. Injured his thumb on Monday night. He says that's painful, but okay, if you can understand that. In front of him, Swain, Whitley, Hall, Milenchek, and Stan Brock, the veteran who spent so many years with New Orleans. Means, Say, Jefferson, Shannon Mitchell, and Aaron Lang. Those of you who watched Pittsburgh come from behind to beat Philadelphia 14-3. That's the final score. Here we're on the second series of the day. Chargers have the ball after the 49ers had to punt. Tyrone Drakeford is the injured 49er.
Yeah, he went down. He was, you're going to see, he's coming down on the punt coverage. Now watch him. He doesn't see or feel or hear or anything that block coming.
He might have felt.
Yeah, he felt it after he got hit. But that's one way when you have clogged sinuses to get them cleaned out. And anything else. I mean, that Miller, that Miller came down there and he brought a whole load with him.
Yeah, special team life is a different kind of existence.
Well, yeah, that's a tough thing. You know, when you're that outside guy there, you're getting double teamed
and tripled,
and sometimes they're even going to triple team you.
1st and 10 for the Chargers from their own 20. Means left side for about 3. And let's look at the San Francisco defense, and they have really come on of late. Ricky Jackson, Dana Stubblefield, Brian Young, and Dennis Brown, the front 4. The 3 linebackers, Norton, Plummer, who played so many years here in San Diego, and Lee Woodall back this week. Sanders and Eric Davis, the corners, Merton Hanks and McDonald, the safeties, and that's one thing Bobby Ross said we have to do. We have to control those 2 safety men. Easier said than done. Humphries back to throw it. Incomplete. No flag. Shannon Mitchell is the intended receiver, covered by Norton.
Yeah, Shannon Mitchell is the H-back, and he's like the fullback. They put him most of the time. He's a tight end type guy, but he plays in the backfield. And he's the lead blocker for Means, but that time he just faked the lead block and went out into the flat. You say the 49ers had that one covered.
Ronnie Harmon is the deep back. Dangerous coming out of the backfield. Harmon comes out. Humphrey steps up. Sean Jefferson takes on Deion Sanders. First down, Chargers, and right in front of the Charger bench.
Well, they're all fired up.
Are they?
That's the way to do it. If you're going to do something, go right at their strength. That's what Stan Humphries said yesterday. He says we have to get good pass protection. He said we aren't going to stay away from Deion. He says we got to take some shots there. That one was Tim McDonald there that missed that tackle, and then Sean Jefferson made Deion Sanders make the tackle.
That's exactly what he did. Made him make the tackle. He didn't want to miss it, and he didn't. Means right side a couple.
The ball carrier.
I think that's what the Chargers need is they started off this season with a bang, and then they kind of stumbled a little, and I think they've had some injuries and so on, but they've also lost some confidence, and just getting a completion, a couple of first downs against a team like the 49ers can help you start to get some of that offensive confidence back.
On second down, it's Means again. Still fighting is Nathan Means. Dana Stubblefield was the first man to hit him. And he did well to get back even close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's tough because he left his lead too quickly. He had his lead and he had his blocking. That play was supposed to go to the right. So that's where you have all your onside blocking. And you'll see here, as he'll have the lead going to that side. See the lead going to his right. He left the lead. Now on the other side, all you have is backside blocking. And it's hard to run into backside blocking.
Humphries back to throw it. With time. Pass complete for a first down. Tony Martin made the reception. Number 81.
Doesn't look like that thumb is bothering Stan Humphries. He hurt his thumb Monday night. Didn't practice at all on Monday, Tuesday, well, they played Monday night. Didn't practice Tuesday or Wednesday. Started to throw on Thursday and said it feels pretty good. It's still swollen, but the thing that he worries about is his grip. And it looks like on these first couple throws that grip of that right hand's pretty good.
He said he had small hands anyway, so he was concerned about his grip. First and 10. That's Means again. And this time he finds some room down to about the 36. Stopped by Norton.
This Natron Means is a tailback. I mean, he's a tailback, halfback type with a fullback's body. I mean, he weighs about 245 pounds. And if you let him get to this point right there, where his shoulders get square, he is very difficult to bring down. You better have a whole bunch of white jerseys on him.
Means and Mitchell in the backfield. Mitchell goes in motion. Means again. First down, I believe. Very close. Ken Norton again had to make the tackle, or does make the tackle.
That's an interesting thing about what they did with Shannon Mitchell. They're going to start him to the right and then bring him back to the left. You'll see him come here, starts to the right, then comes back and blocks in here and Means or brings the ball into that hole. See Shannon Mitchell go back. Now he stops. Now he comes back and boom, right there, he makes that lead block. Because when you go by, then the guy doesn't worry about you anymore.
More and more teams are doing that. Here's Humphries back to throw it. In a hurry, incomplete. Intended for Aaron Lang. Plummer on the coverage. Humphries indicating maybe I threw it too hard.
I mean, one thing about Stan Humphries, they say that he doesn't work out, he doesn't lift weights, he doesn't run, he doesn't train. I'll tell you one thing about him, he is a competitor. And he loves to play the game and get out here and just do this part of it.
We got here before 8 o'clock to the stadium yesterday morning, and guess who let us in? Stan Humphries.
He even knew that magic number to get in.
Yeah. Pass complete. Sean Jefferson made the reception. Down to about the 26.
There's Gary Plummer, number 50. He's the guy doing the complaining there. Of course, he's playing against his old teammates. Played for San Diego from 1986 to 93, and he's one of those ex-49er defensive guys coming back, playing his old team for the first time in regular season.
And he makes an exit. 3 wide receivers come in. Ronnie Harmon is the deep back. Humphries gives the ball to Harmon. He won't get the first down. There's a flag on the play. Tim Harris made the stop, but a penalty.
It was what Bobby Ross was saying yesterday. One of their big problems is 3rd and 3. And this last down was 3rd and 3.
Tom White is the referee.
Holding, 72 offense, 10 yards, still 3rd down.
Harry Swain. 49ers will take this penalty. He didn't make the first down.
This is Harry Swain right here, the left tackle. They're running at his side. You see, he just goes right there. I don't think he held anyone. I mean, you got to let him do that. That was, part of the tackle was there, but that block looked okay to me.
3rd and 13. That took him out of field goal range. The penalty. 49ers, Dana Stubblefield jumped early.
Yeah, it looks like the Chargers are going to get 5 of that 10 back on this.
And that might put him back in Carney's range.
You see what Stan Humphries did after he snapped the ball? He knelt down. I don't know what that is.
Encroachment. Number 94, prior to the snap, 5 yards, still third down.
Tom White.
Watch Stan Humphries here. He's going to give a hard count. You see, there's Stubblefield. He jumps off, and then Stan Humphries just takes a knee.
That means I give up. I give myself up. Humphries back to throw it. Hit just as he let it go. Pass incomplete. No flag. That ball flooded out of there. Tim Harris applied the pressure.
Here's Tim Harris here coming from the outside, working against Harry Swain. You see, he starts and he just gives that speed rush. I mean, there's not much air. He just got his hand on him and knocked him out, and he hit Stan Humphries from the back just as he was throwing the ball. And when you get hit from the back just as you're throwing the ball, that'll make the ball look like that. They're going for it on fourth here.
4th and 8. Humphries taken down. Tim Harris again.
Oh, you wonder about that. Harry Swain had trouble with Tim Harris, and then you sprint out right into Tim Harris. I don't know about that. Here's Tim Harris, and Humphries is going to come out, and Harris is just going to come up and make the play right here. I don't know that you want to do that. I don't know that you want to sprint into the guy you're not blocking.
That's not a good idea most of the time.
National Football League.
William Floyd, the ball carrier for San Francisco. Good yardage. 7 or 8.
Well, Harris Barton pulled on that one. You know, when we were talking to Junior Seau yesterday, he said it's really hard to key the run with the 49ers because all the guys pull, the whole offensive line. And on that time, the right tackle, number 79, Harris Barton, pulled.
The only person who doesn't is Bart Oates, the center.
Yeah, when Jesse Sapula was playing center, he used to pull too.
Yeah.
That was a good block by Harris Barton, leading William Floyd in that last play.
Floyd got 8 at 2nd and 2. Ricky Waters didn't get anything. Leslie O'Neal led the men in blue. Chris Mims also there with an assist.
And so was Junior Seau. Junior Seau, I think, missed some tackles Monday night, and he's trying to make up for that. He has a stinger on that in his neck that affects his left shoulder and arm. He said as the game goes on, it gets more fatigued. He said he's going to play the whole game. He just has to make some adjustments in his tackling.
3rd and 2. About time for Steve Young to take off. Ricky Waters will take off. Get the first. Dives. Right now for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, and in the Meadowlands, the Giants wrapped up their victory over Cincinnati with that 3-yard run by Rodney Hampton. 4th in a row for the Giants. They keep their playoff hopes alive. Right now, let's take you back down to Jack Murphy Stadium. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
0-0 score here. 5:45 left to play in the first quarter. 1st and 10, 49ers. Young to throw it. To John Taylor. Close to another first down. Not quite.
You know, this 49er offense, Steve Young is playing so well, but so is the whole offense. I mean, the line is doing a good job of pass protecting now, and the receivers, it's just amazing. You're doing so many 49er games that there always seems to be someone wide open.
And I don't know how they do that because they are not doing all that much differently from what they've done in weeks past. But nobody seems to be able to defend it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, in a zone, in sync, whatever those words are.
Floyd. First down. They're down to the Charger 33. Stopped by Junior Seau.
They haven't even started with Jerry Rice yet. I mean, we've seen Ricky Waters, William Floyd, John Taylor, and they haven't even started to get either Brent Jones or Jerry Rice into it yet. Mike Shanahan has, you know, a script, and then also in his game plan, he has plays to get Jerry Rice in the game Brent Jones in the game and John Taylor in the game. Special lists.
Rice was on the move, and he crosses Floyd out of the backfield. They do have a lot of weapons.
I think that would have been a good one to get Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
It looks like he was crossing with William Floyd, but they were both wide open, and Steve Young decided to take Floyd.
Floyd, the rookie from Florida State. You can see him as the weeks pass get better and better and more confident.
Yeah, I think that, confidence he has. I think he just has to calm down a little, and he looks like he's starting to calm down a little.
Dexter Carter and Ricky Waters in the backfield. The handoff is to Waters. Waters chased and out of bounds by Dennis Gibson. Gary Plummer calling some friends in the area.
One thing about Junior Seau, is he's a very smart player, and he's a very intense player. And when he decides to go, he's going to go. But he gets hit too. I mean, linebackers don't always do the hitting. When you're Junior Seau and you're number 55, you become a marked man for blockers too.
But he gets up quickly.
Oh, you never want to stay down if you're a defensive player.
Steve Young, and wide open is Brent Jones to about the 15. There's another target. First time he's been utilized.
And I think that's all part of a number of things. I think, pass protection, which is good. You watch, they give Steve Young time. I mean, he gets back there, he has the time, and he can look, as we say, there's always someone underneath. You have a short guy, then you have a medium guy, then you have a deep guy. This time it was Brent Jones was his check off, his short guy. And then they all know how to take that ball when they catch it and run it straight up the field. Don't go sideways.
1st and 10 at the 15. Waters to the 10. Well, I think you have to ask yourself, John, if they do get so open and they have this offense down to such perfection, why don't more people do it?
Because they don't have the players. I mean, they don't have Steve Young and Jerry Rice and John Taylor and Ricky Waters, and William Floyd, as we just said, is turning into quite a player. He made a good lead block on that last play. He was leading for Ricky Waters, and he not only catches the ball, but he's also a tough guy and a real good blocker.
2nd and 5. Intended for Ricky Waters, went right through his hands. Might have been just a little bit too close for that fastball.
Well, Junior Seau was right there too, and Junior Seau may have been a little too close to Ricky Waters because Junior Seau was ready to unload on Ricky Waters. But Steve Young, he's reading it. He puts a little mustard on that thing, which he has to. But watch, here's Waters running right into Seau there, and he looks like he started to come up under control and maybe forgot to catch the ball.
3rd and 5. No score. Young to throw it. Wheels it outside. Brent Jones. Touchdown. Airborne.
I tell you, this is it. I mean, this is just perfect 49er football. You're running the ball, you got good lead blocks, you fake a run, you look, and you dump off. It's the same pass that Brent Jones just caught a couple plays ago. Just catch that thing and then run it straight up the field into the end zone.
Or fly up the field.
Yep, that's the old heels overhead. You got to give a touchdown to a guy when his heels get over his head. You got to give him a touchdown.
Especially when he lands on his head. 7-0. Doug Bryan's extra point is good, and George Siebert's San Francisco 49ers lead by a touchdown.
Let's look at how Brent Jones is so open on those two plays. What he's doing, he's coming in here and starting to block. Then the defenders all go off, and then he sneaks out here, out into the flat. You see, he starts to block. He comes down like he's a blocker. See him block, 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 and then they lose him and forget him. And they lost him and forgot him twice on that last drive.
Doug Bryant kicks off. Andre Coleman deep. Starts from the 3-yard line. You don't hear too much about the 49ers special teams because the offense captures so much of the spotlight, but they are very effective too. 7-0 49ers over the Chargers. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Jack Murphy Stadium. Jack Murphy Stadium, that name sometimes called a Murph. That just makes you cringe, I know, and I don't like it either.
No, because I knew Jack Murphy, and Jack Murphy was the sports editor of the paper down here, and he brought football to San Diego and helped all sports and was a great man.
Means tripped up by Ricky Jackson. Yeah, you really got to get your head in the game, don't you?
Well, this was during the break when they were playing the music.
I think Dion's one of those guys who doesn't need music.
Dion enjoys life. And he, you know, when you're not playing, he takes it easy, but he goes pretty hard when you're playing.
Natron Means, first down, stopped by Stubblefield.
Yeah, I think what the Chargers have to do is they have to keep this game close.
You know, John, I remember what Bobby Beathard, who's the general manager here, and a friend of yours was telling us when we first saw number 20, Means. He said, I think he's the complete package.
Yeah, that was a year ago.
Yeah.
We did a preseason game, and he said that he thinks that he's going to be special. They got him in the second round.
Incomplete, intended for Mark Say. 7-0 49ers. So they come down to the end of the first quarter. Where is Bobby Beathard? He's up top with Alex Spanos.
I think he's right there.
Yeah.
I think that's Bobby Beathard. That's Alex Spanos to the left of him, the owner of the San Diego Chargers. And that team has done a pretty good job of putting this team together.
They really have. On second down, it's Means. Not much. But if you just kept watching, you saw an indication of how strong Means is. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. San Francisco 7, San Diego nothing. San Francisco leads 7-0. Third down, about 8 for the San Diego Chargers at their own 35. And they go with 3 wide receivers and Ronnie Harmon. 3rd and 8. Contact by Ken Norton.
Yeah, the 49ers don't blitz a lot, but they were going to on that one. Kenny Norton was coming on a blitz. He was trying to time that perfectly and hit that ball just as it snapped. But he got there a little too quick. And the 49ers pointed the Chargers at someone on their team move.
False start.
False
Prior
start.
to the snap, the quarterback, hey Bob, 3rd down.
They call it hard count against the quarterback.
Yeah, they call that on Stan Humphries. We're going to see, you know, does he move? And again, he moved his head a little. The left guard moves. Yeah, you see, that's what they called him on that hard count. You know, bobbing that head.
That'll make it 3rd and 13. Humphries gets it out of there. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Sean Jefferson. As we begin the second quarter, let's look back to the first quarter statistics. No turnovers so far. 49ers leading 7-0. No significant difference that I can see.
Well, the Chargers had one opportunity, and then they didn't make anything out of it. And the 49ers had an opportunity, and they scored 7 points.
Dexter Carter fields Brian Wagner's punt. Carter goes out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, where the 49ers will take it over 1st and 10. 7-0 49ers, 1st and 10. Young fakes, hits Rice. Jerry Rice at midfield. Stopped by Stanley Richard.
Well, Ed White was, such a big part of this San Diego scene for a long time as a Charger player and a Charger coach and a San Diego State assistant and longtime NFL player and just longtime good guy. And I just wish the best for he and his family and for Amy.
First for the 49ers. Pitches back to Ricky Waters. Picks up about 6 with that catch on the previous play.
And that's Junior Seau. It's that left shoulder, left arm, left side of the upper body nerve, but that doesn't look like what he hurt. It looked like he's reaching for his left knee.
Left leg, yeah. Started to say a minute ago with that catch, Jerry Rice has become the 3rd player in NFL history to go over 13,000 yards receiving. James Lofton is 1st, Steve Largent 2nd. 2nd and 4, San Francisco. Young back. Rice juggled but stayed in bounds with possession.
Jerry Rice does everything so well. I mean, run patterns and catch the ball and run after the catch. But he's so strong. I mean, he just goes up and catches the ball, and it's like a fly is on him or something.
This came down with one hand wrapped around the ball.
I mean, he has the whole package.
Yeah,
I mean,
when
they put it on the shelf, Jerry Rice took it all off the shelf. He took all the good stuff.
And he's still using it very effectively. Chargers blitz, flag on the play. They throw to Taylor. Incomplete.
That's one way to stop the 49ers, have a play call against them. It's illegal motion.
Number 35, offense.
Junior Seau came out. Now he just came back in. He was replaced by Lewis Bush, but Seau's back in now.
Yeah, that penalty was against Dexter Carter. Steve Wallace jumped up and started talking to the referee like it was him, arguing that he didn't do something. I guess he didn't do anything.
It's 1st and 15. The sideline markers are wrong. They have it 2nd and 15. Now they've changed it on the other side, not on this side of the field. Seau just bruised, I say just bruised his knee, and that's why he took that brief rest, but he's back now.
And I think you can say just because he's back now.
Yeah.
And Junior Seau is the type of guy that no matter what happens to him, if he can get out there and play, Junior Seau is going to be out there playing.
And we have a little meeting among the striped shirt folks.
I think they had not only problems with the down markers, which they've gotten straightened out now, but they also had problem with the 25-second clock.
First down, not second down.
First down, not second down.
Boy, am I glad they know that. Oh, they're so proud of themselves. It took them a while. They had to have a meeting.
Well, they had dealt another hand of hearts.
They got it down. All that, then they go first down, not second down.
First down and 15. The line of scrimmage is the Charger 34. Young back. Gets it to John Taylor. Taylor out of bounds, about 3 yards short of another first down. Knocked out by Darian Gordon.
Yeah, you watch a protection for Steve Young, and he's going to take, here he takes a 5-step drop, looking the whole time. They almost get there, but that's a frustrating thing about playing against Steve Young. You can almost get there, but he'll get rid of the ball. It was like Sean Lee. He was right there, ready to tackle him, and boom, he gets rid of the ball and they gain 10, 12 yards.
That's the key to playing Steve Young, or the frustration of playing Steve Young. It's a lot of almost.
Yeah, they have him in the cage, but he still completes a pass.
Floyd gets a first down. Pop through the front of the Charger defense. Darren Carrington and Junior Seau on the tackle.
You know, William Floyd's starting to become a better runner too.
Yep.
You notice that he started out with the blocking and the pass catching, and now he has some moves. I mean, he's a big blocking fullback, but I mean, he makes some moves in there like he's a halfback. Maybe that bar none is right. Maybe he is the best fullback bar none.
Maybe. Not many of them around that carry the ball. Floyd again. Now that didn't get much, but that's a pretty good effort.
Well, he's so big. I mean, you know, he weighs 245 pounds. So when you weigh 245 pounds and you get that stuff going forward, then you can, just make 3 or 4 more yards just falling down.
Well, I think he and Ricky Waters are both very emotional guys, and they let sometimes emotion interfere with effort.
Yeah, and what they have to do is they have to get rid of the emotion, get back in the huddle, get the play. That's what frustrates this offense sometimes. But I think they are calming down.
Young incomplete through the arms of John Taylor. Steve Young got his fastball working today.
Yeah, he does. And Stanley Richard had his helmet there looking for John Taylor as he came in. Stanley Richard is a free safety, and the pattern that the 49ers run more than anything is that slant pattern. And you're going to see it here. John Taylor's on the outside. Now he's going to slant or right in, but watch Stanley Richard right there. He was ready to unload on him.
3rd down and 9. Taylor. I heard somebody gasp on the sideline in pain.
Or in frustration. It could have been John Taylor because he didn't get the first down.
And it could have been Junior Seau.
And you have to know as you go across here, John Taylor knows this, you can't go out of bounds till you get the first down. Watch him, here he comes in the crossing pattern. Now you can see that thing. He should make a move. He wants to get up the field, but he can't do it. And I think that was what the owl was for, is not getting the first down.
It's 4th and 1. Floyd checked in. Young called a timeout.
Yeah, I think they were going to go for it. And if you're going to go for it on 4th down, you better all be sure of the right play.
'49ers have the ball at the San Diego 7. 4th down, and they need just about that much for a first. And they're going to go.
This hasn't been one of their strengths.
Young over the head of William Floyd. That was about his 5th option. And the Chargers take over.
And it's still not one of their strengths. I think if the 49ers offensively have any problems, it's short yardage and goal line. Here they don't show the confidence in their running game by throwing the ball. And again, they go for 4th down. They don't get it. Same thing happened last week.
Of the Simpsons. Chargers. Means might have gotten a yard.
You know, one thing that everyone's doing against the Chargers and Natron Means is just ganging up in the run. You know, saying that if the Chargers offensively can beat you, they can beat you with Means running the ball. Then if they get that to play pass and all that stuff, so everyone is ganging up and saying, okay, you can't beat us with the run. If you're going to beat us, you got to throw the ball.
And 2nd and long, Humphries will probably have to throw it from the end zone. Picked off almost by Deion Sanders. He juggled.
He's going to go and kick it and find it and get mad at it.
Mark Say was the intended receiver. He had it and lost it.
And he knew it was a touchdown, too. You know, if you're looking for the best covered defensive back in football, here he is, Deion Sanders. I mean, he is so quick, and he's such a good athlete. Watch how quick, when the guy turns to make his move, Deion does it as quickly as he does. I mean, Mark Say was there making that cut, and Deion made that cut as quick as Mark Say did.
3rd and 9, Humphries back again. Pass is almost intercepted by Tim McDonald. I believe no. Toy Cook, the extra defensive back. Humphries was high with the throw.
See, and that's what you get when you can stop their run. See, they stopped that 1st down run, then they could put those defensive backs in, put that pass rush in, and let those defensive backs take control. 2 passes by Humphries, almost 2 49er touchdowns.
Brian Wagner standing way back at the back of the end zone. Dexter Carter waiting for 49er. At the 48. Carter to about the 38, where the 49ers take over in great shape. In the meantime, out in the parking lot, on a beautiful sunshiny day in Southern California, there is still room for some cooking.
Yeah, we don't get down here a lot to see what they're cooking in San Diego. But they have great stuff. I mean, this is the beach. They just bring the beach right with them. A lot of fruit.
Whoa. I'm glad he's in the parking lot.
I think I know him. I think he used to play for me.
Might have.
He was a linebacker.
Waters juggled the ball and finally got it back on a good bounce and got perhaps a yard. Getting down to that point of the season where it's tough to keep track of who's in and who's out and who might make it, who won't make it. Eliminated today the Rams and Tampa Bay, although Tampa Bay won. That clinched the berth in the playoffs for Cleveland Browns yesterday with what happened today and their victory over Dallas yesterday.
That was some victory for Cleveland. They played very, very well, and I think that was a big shock to me that they could beat the Cowboys.
Young faked the toss, fires across the middle to Ted Thompson. Another of the many targets that he has. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, and in Arizona, they get on the scoreboard, play action, Jay Schrader, the takeoff by Ricky Prohl, who beats Tom Carter. Prohl makes it to pay dirt, and the Cardinals are on top by the score of 7-3, 8:04 left in the first half. Back down to San Diego, Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Back at Jack Murphy Stadium. Waters and Floyd behind Young. Ricky Waters to about the 12.
You know, there's Chris Dahlman, Pat, number 67. You see him near last week. He played center for Bart Oates. Jesse Cipolla pulled his hamstring, and Chris Dahlman went in there for a play. It looks like Jesse's coming back in, so maybe he just stretched it a little, old Jesse. Maybe he didn't really pull it. Chris Dahlman played pretty well.
Yes, he
play
has.
Center or guard. Played the whole game at center last week.
And they say he doesn't look like an athlete, but he is very deceptive. He can play. 2nd and 6. Waters down inside the 10 to about the 7.
I think if there's anything that we're talking about that really haunts the 49ers, it's just being able to run in this area. The closer they get to the goal line, they have to be able to run, to be able to pound it in too. And this is where they've had trouble. Short yardage and goal line and running the ball in this area. And knowing Ricky Waters and William Floyd, you know that that's just eating them up.
They're going to measure. Talking about Chris Dahlman a minute ago, about he doesn't look like an athlete. I'm not sure what an athlete looks like.
Well, you know that we saw Deion Sanders yesterday in practice, and he was wearing his dress socks, and he had his sweatpants pulled up above his knees, and those legs didn't look like the legs
They look like an
of
athlete.
a great athlete.
No.
Yeah, no one can. I mean, everyone would look at him. They were pointing to his leg and his.
I'm glad he got some new socks from yesterday.
I think he wears about 4 or 5 pair of socks during the game.
Makes his legs look bigger.
Yeah.
There's Steve Young surging ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that we were getting to, that the backs would like to do that. And they take William Floyd out. He would like to be in there doing this. William Floyd isn't in there. Here's Waters. He's back here. You're going to see Waters leaves in motion. Now the only running play they can run is a quarterback sneak. And they always give a gap. Steve Young is a great quarterback sneak runner. He'll always find that open gap you give him.
Now we have Waters and Floyd behind Steve Young. Floyd, maybe a yard. Just across the 5, Leslie O'Neal on the bottom of the pile.
Leslie O'Neal came in there tight on that one. In fact, he was talking about that play yesterday. The way they have their ends come in and come down tight to spill it. In other words, they're gonna choke that thing off, and if you're going to get it anywhere, you're gonna have to spill it or bounce it to the outside. But see, that's the 49ers' problem. I mean, they give the ball to Floyd, they don't make any yards, and eventually it goes back on Steve Young's shoulders.
Floyd is the lone back behind Steve Young. That's Brent Jones in motion. Touchdown to Taylor. Well, if you get it in, I guess you really can't complain too much.
No, that's right. I mean, it is nitpicking, and if you throw it so well, why worry about how you run it? Watch John Taylor. He's the outside guy here. There's no pick or anything. He just runs and just stands there. I mean, they had 3 guys all bunched together, and John Taylor just goes right and just stands there. Junior Seau's going to see the ball coming. He just can't get to it. He saw it. I mean, he reacted to the ball, but that was no pass pattern.
Doug Bryant's extra point is good, and the 49ers now lead by the score of 14-0. In the second quarter at Jack Murphy Stadium, 14-0. The Aflac trivia question: who were Bobby Beathard's first-round draft picks in Washington, first of all, and then here in San Diego? Bobby Beathard, of course, the general manager here. Andre Coleman fields the kickoff at the 4. To the 22, perhaps, and that's where the Chargers will start.
Just watch how they get you in a bind. Here's John Taylor. He's gonna catch a pass, but watch what this 49er passing game to bind. They put you. If we can just stop it now, we can see that they just get 3 receivers right here. So then they're going to break off of that. They stem off of that bunch. One goes out, one goes in the middle. John Taylor just stands there, and William Floyd was swinging to that side too. So they had 4 receivers in one zone. That's what you call really overloading a zone.
Means the lone setback. Stan Humphries, the quarterback for the Chargers, who trail 14-0. San Francisco just keeps rolling along. Means for about 5. Bryant Young made the stop. The Aflac question again: who were Bobby Beathard's first-round draft picks in Washington, first of all, and then San Diego? You know?
Sonny Jurgensen? No.
Could be. Art Monk in Washington, that's not bad, and Junior Seau in San Diego.
Of course, congratulations to Art Monk for breaking the record yesterday. Steve Largent's record. Steve Largent was at the game.
Humphries is going to take off. Slide at about just outside the 30, about a yard shy of a first down.
Yeah, this is the thing that the Chargers, this is why they have to get something going, get a score so they can keep Means in the game. I mean, if they get behind, then pretty soon you just have to pass every down, and Stan Humphries isn't the kind of quarterback, nor do the Chargers have those kind of receivers that they can play against the 49ers when they get in a passing situation every down.
64 eligible. 72 and 64.
Short yardage means. Doesn't get it. Doesn't come close. Norton with the penetration.
Natron Means is hot. He had a lead. He had Steve Hendrickson in there with him. And Ken Norton just came right in behind and penetrated. He got in behind his lead. You're going to see the lead goes to the right. Hendrickson is the first guy. You're going to see him start off to the right, and he's going to be the lead. And then Norton comes inside of Hendrickson. You see Norton right there?
Dexter Carter. Ryan Wagner's punt taken by Carter, who gets it back outside the 40. Where the 49ers will take over there. They lead 14-0. Don't forget to join Fox next Sunday for a very special pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Terry Bradshaw will hand out the Fox Terry Awards, and we'll have a coaches and general managers poll on the state of officiating in the NFL. And Jimmy Johnson has promised he'll announce his decision regarding where and if he will coach next year. That's next Sunday at noon Eastern on Fox. Gary Plummer has to be delighted with the way things are going here for him after playing so many years for the Chargers. Now the chance he hopes at one of those big heavy Super Bowl rings.
That's what it's all about. That's what everyone's in it for.
Young, Bryce to the 35. He fakes and just wings it.
You know, that's almost perfect. You know, everyone talks about Steve Young being in a zone, and he is here. I mean, you're going to see Jerry Rice just come up the field here. He's the second guy and just run the slant right there, and the ball is thrown perfect. I mean, he doesn't have to stop. He doesn't have to wait. He doesn't have to go back. He doesn't have to do anything. And watch Steve Young look and throw it. I mean, that is timing. That's, you know, doesn't break stride. There's, you know, that's just perfect football.
It's almost like he doesn't even have to look. He knows where everything is. Almost picked off. Stanley Richard had the ball in his range and right in his stomach, but not in his hand.
Yeah, they're playing that bootleg now. Remember, that was a big play, that naked bootleg where Steve Young fakes and then he's going to bootleg to his left, and he doesn't have any blockers out there. Now what happens is when he comes and he bootlegs out here, if these guys read it and get up the field, there's no play. If they follow the run away from him, they have a chance. But if they see the fake and you see O'Neal come up the field, that play doesn't have a chance if O'Neal doesn't chase that run.
4 wide receivers. Quickly to McCaffrey from Young. And they brought out some more bullets.
Yeah, I think the key word you said is quickly. I mean, that's a big thing. Look at how they overload. I mean, they put 3 guys here. Here's McCaffrey right here, and he just hits him right now. I mean, how do you defend this stuff? I mean, they got a guy just there. He's the guy. McCaffrey's the guy that they didn't cover. So he just kind of came under control. They're just playing catch out here.
And as you said, once they catch the ball, all of them are very good runners.
Yeah, they look like they have a checkerboard, and they're the only guys playing. You know, playing one-man checkers. You know, like you just put guys where you want them, and then if you don't want them, you don't put anyone else there. McCaffrey's out there. No one puts a checker on him.
Young is 13 out of 20 for Steve Young. 14-0. 49ers lead it.
Wow. Look at the size of this place. A guy who didn't know what he was doing could sure get himself in a lot of trouble here. But hey, I'm sure you'll pick one out. I mean, how hard could it be? Like these guys, they used to make a heck of a movie projector. And anyway, if something does go wrong, I'm sure a handy guy like you can probably just fix it yourself. But as long as you're here, maybe you ought to just look at an IBM.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of The few, the proud, the Marines.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. People call them hoagies or heroes or submarines because they're shaped like submarines, but we call them Subway sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs and sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For nearly 30 years, Subway has made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub, only $1.69 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Tonight, celebrate the spirit of the season with a Yuletide tradition. Ring in the holidays with the original Simpsons Christmas special. Part of a full hour starting at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, followed by a brand new Married with Children tonight on Fox. I didn't get a chance to hum, did you?
I just said ho, ho, ho.
That was you?
Yeah.
Young to Rice. Flag on the play.
One thing about Steve Young in this first half, he's sure keeping guys happy. He's had 6 different receivers already. Up there helping the officials, and Steve Young has got it. You know, there's a point where you get something.
Pass interference.
Yeah.
Number 28. Defense at the 4-yard line. It'll be a first down and goal.
First and goal.
That's against Dwayne Harper. It's right up here at the top, at the left-hand part of the screen. Right there, he just got his hands on him up around his neck. They're really getting tough on that. They're not letting him, after that 5 yards, they're not letting him do anything. It was still a heck of a catch, wasn't it?
If they gave him a catch, they called the penalty. I'm not sure. Waters. Ricky Waters, touchdown.
And on to number 32, Ricky Waters.
Ricky Waters wasn't going to spike it. You see that, Pat? He handed it to Brent Jones. Let Brent Jones spike it for him. William Floyd in there congratulating him because this has been the thing that they wanted to do. Watch, Floyd gets a lead. Boom, right there. Good block by William Floyd. Ricky Waters just puts his head down, gets behind his shoulder pads, and puts it in the end zone.
Bryan for the extra point. Wilmsmeyer holding. 49ers, by the way, took the penalty, so that was not a catch for Rice. So he still needs one more to get to that 800 mark. Nevertheless, the 49ers scored with Ricky Waters and lead 21-0. '49ers 21, San Diego nothing, and we'd like to welcome, on behalf of our Fox network, the station WITI in Milwaukee, WAGA in Atlanta, and WJBK in Detroit.
Makes a nice Fox family. Watch this. Here's a big thing. You get a good lead block here. Barton gets a good block down here, and they're really going to seal off and make a hole in there for Ricky Waters. See Barton take his guy right down there. William Floyd comes off, turns his guy out right there, and all Ricky Waters has to do is run it in the end zone with 2 yards. But you know, that William Floyd has really become a good lead blocker because it's not only making the block, but it's getting in position to make the block.
Well, he's a total package too. He's becoming a better runner. He is a good pass receiver. This is Andre Coleman. Out to about the 25. In fact, this whole 49er team is a total package.
There's Floyd there. See, now he's telling himself about how good he blocked. Ricky Waters just kissed him on the head. Now that's 1990s football.
That's not part of the package.
When a guy makes a block, the all Madden Marines are here. I knew they were coming.
El Toro.
Yeah.
Well, you were here. You coached here, didn't you? Not the Chargers.
I coached here at San Diego State under Don Coryell.
Here's Stan Humphries. Pass is picked off, I believe, by Ken Norton. Wanted to see if it bounced or not. It didn't. It's an interception for San Francisco, and they take over again in good shape.
Ken Norton has made some big plays. Remember the Means run on 3rd down when he stopped him in short yardage, and in this play just getting back in that zone, reading it. I don't know what Humphries was throwing to. He just threw it right to Ken Norton. I didn't see any receiver in that picture with him. Maybe he's trying to get the ball to Ronnie Harmon in behind him, but just Ken Norton just was standing there playing the zone defense.
And it's the interception by Norton that gives the 49ers another opportunity.
And he was leading Harmon in there is what he was doing, but it wasn't a very good lead.
Here's Young. Rice gets the first down for San Francisco. And now he has the 800 catches.
I tell you, he's something special. I mean, he's when they made up the word pro or professional, Jerry Rice is the professional.
Well, somebody said he can outrun you, he outworks you, he out-hustles you, he out-strengths you.
And I mean, that's the thing about him is he has a lot of luck, and he makes a lot of lucky catches because he works harder than anyone else.
1st and 10, 49ers. Young has the ball dragged loose, and the 49ers defensive unit is headed on the field.
Well, Leslie O'Neal did that. He went for it the play before that. We got a rumble going down there, too. Old Derek Deese is in there, wants some action.
Yep.
Leslie O'Neal has been coming around that corner and looking for that ball the last 3 or 4 plays.
And the crowd finally here at Jack Murphy Stadium has something to cheer about.
Well, that's number 91. He was looking all the way. He just took his left hand and just knocked it out of there. He could have gotten a hit. He could have gotten a sack, but he wanted something bigger than that. He wanted the ball. Watch 91 coming from here. Leslie O'Neal. He's just going right there. He just went for the ball, nothing else.
On 1st down, Humphries back to throw it. Incomplete. Intended for Papunu, but Humphries was in a hurry. That 800th reception, by the way, by Jerry Rice makes him one of 3 who have 800 receptions. Art Monk and Steve Largent, the other 2.
You know, these San Diego Chargers, I mean, they're getting booed here now, and deservedly so, because they've been whipped so far every way you can be whipped.
Humphries pass complete to Tony Martin. And they get a 1st down for the first time in a long time. And Humphries got hit hard. 40 seconds left to play in the first half. San Diego timeout. They have 2 left.
Saturday, it's a Fox NFL special. In a crucial Central Division battle, 2 playoff hopeful teams meet when the Vikings face the Lions.
Short drop, move. Carter, the reception.
Carter tries to smash the all-time single-season reception record, while Sanders, the league's leading rusher, continues to motor towards 2,000 yards. Coverage begins 12 noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Coming up on the Dockers halftime, James and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from around the league on this, the 15th week of the 1994 NFL season. That's all coming up on the Dockers halftime. 1st and 10, San Diego. Humphrey. Tony Martin makes the reception in 49er territory. And San Diego takes another timeout. They'll have 1 remaining.
Yeah, I think any momentum, anything the Chargers can get here before the half, they can maybe carry over into the second half. I mean, even a field goal here. I think if they could get down and get in field goal range and kick a field goal just before the half, you got to get something on the board. And the first points are always the toughest in any game.
John Carney, one of the best, getting loose.
I remember when I first started coaching and George Blanda was backup quarterback and kicker. I remember him telling me that, that no matter what, I mean, because you get those 4th and short and you always want to go for the first down and, and get a touchdown. He said, always get the points, always get on the board. And it's easier to build once you're on the board.
George Blanda never thought he was going to lose at anything, and still doesn't. incomplete. Intended for Mark Say. Merton Hanks almost intercepted.
Merton Hanks had his hands up there like the ball just went through his hand. We talk about Steve Young having a heck of a year. Here's Merton Hanks here. Watch his coverage. He has that inside position. He's just going to roll inside, and he put his hands up there, and I think the ball did go right through his hands. See, because he has help deep, he can play underneath. He can run underneath that pass pattern.
Toy Cook behind him. Second down. Humphries back. Gets it out to Papunu. Flag on the play. Papunu out of bounds at about the 41-yard line of San Francisco, but a flag on the play.
That was the same type of play that Brent Jones caught on that one drive a couple times. That kind of delay and dump it off to the tight end.
Holding. San Diego.
That was Ricky Jackson there in that picture, going against his old teammate for years down in New Orleans, Stan Brock.
Holding. Number 74. Offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Still second down.
Number 74 is the right guard there.
Jonasson,
he's the guy that they call holding on. He's picking up the stunt. I don't know. You know, I mean, they're getting.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard in their stunts and guys moving and stuff, and you get your hands in different positions. But to me, that's not holding.
They're so big and so quick. Screen pass to Ronnie Harmon. Harmon stays on his feet, gets to midfield.
That's one thing about Ronnie Harmon. If you say who, you know, in a situation like this, who do you want to get the ball in his hands? I think Ronnie Harmon is probably the top of the list right now.
11 seconds left. They have one more timeout remaining. The Chargers. Been pretty consistent over the years, Ronnie Harmon.
You know, he's a good runner and a good pass catcher, and he not only comes out of the backfield but slot and all those kind of things.
Here's Humphries, semi-roll left. Pass is caught. Now you better call a quick timeout.
Yep, they're in field goal range.
3 seconds left. Sean Jefferson made the reception, and they're going to give Carney a shot. That's their last timeout, Chargers, but with 3 seconds, doesn't matter.
On the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show, it's the Terry Awards. Join Terry Bradshaw for his off-the-wall look at the season's highlights and lowlights. It's the most outrageous, out-of-this-world football entertainment on television. Then, two teams trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Rodney Hampton and the Giants meet Randall and the Eagles in a crucial NFC East matchup. Coverage begins 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Three seconds left. Dana Stubblefield with that wrap around his left knee. It is a sprain, we're told, but what a consistent force he's become just in his second year.
They have that front seven group, Dana Stubblefield and Bryant Young, the rookie. They've really been the strength of that group.
Carney from 50 yards with Gail Gilbert holding. Based on pregame warm-up, he has enough leg to get it there, certainly. Good. John Carney from 50 yards as the cannon fires at Jack Murphy Stadium. That's the end of the first half with the score: San Francisco 21, San Diego 3. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime as Fox NFL Sunday will continue after this message and a word from your local Fox station.
Back here in Hollywood along with Terry Bradshaw, I'm James Brown. At the half, no contest right now. San Francisco is just blitzing San Diego. Tim Harris, boy, what's he been doing?
Well, you said blitz. That's not really correct,
That's
JB.
not correct?
They're playing
Well,
a lot
score,
of zone.
21.
Oh, I see. The play on words. You know what's good about this? this will blow me away. Jerry Rice now has 800 receptions for over 13,000 yards. Tim Harris, as you know, is picked up, brought in to help give a pass rush for the 49ers, has now got his second sack since in his second game with the 49ers. Each sack represents $5,000.
And let's take a look at how he is doing it. No doubt about it. Let's take a look at Tim Harris.
There's Harris right there. That's the sack of the day. Get up, shoot the guns. There you go. $5,000, please. Thank you very much. Out in the flat. There's Jones. There's a little 5-yard pass. We love those. And now the big guy. Go get him. Up, up. There you go. Touchdown, Brent Jones. Down on his head. You got to love that.
Using his head.
Steve Young now. I believe that was his 30th touchdown pass. This is his 30th first. Over the middle, little hook, little zone route. John Taylor sits down in there. Steve Young having a phenomenal year.
San Diego looking like they're in trouble right now to try to clinch their second AFC title in the last 3 years.
Not been able to get done what they want to get done. They're scoring no points again.
All right, 21-3, San Francisco on top. That one at the half. Okay, moving out to Tempe, Arizona. A 1-point lead. The Cardinals are nursing over the Redskins. Buddy Ryan's team trying to stay in the playoff hunt.
Got them playing hard. Ryan's team 6 and 7 straight of play action. Hold the linebackers. Tighten up the safeties. Don't let them get over and help those corners out. And then throw it deep. There it is right there. Look at that safety. Can't get there. Ricky Prohl. There you have it, JB. 48 yards touchdown. And that's all you're going to need in this game. Too much defense for the Cardinals.
I wish we had time to elaborate because you really like Ricky Prohl.
I like him a bunch.
A bunch. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay, let's move along and talk about Minnesota and Buffalo. Minnesota comes away with the victory in the last seconds of this game here. Buffalo's loss means Cleveland clinches. Take a look at Jim Kelly.
There it is. That's one of those Pennsylvania great quarterbacks out of the pocket. Finds Don Beebe. 9-yard TD reception. Great concentration there. Buffalo up 17-9. Allen in. That makes it 18-17 Minnesota. And then you're going to see Kelly as he's hit by Thomas here, right on the knee, sustained. I guess he got a stretched ligament MRI tomorrow morning.
Yeah, no question about it. Let's hope he is okay. Again, the MRI tomorrow morning will reveal greater details on that one. Okay, so Minnesota does win it 21-17. Buffalo loses. Cleveland clinches a playoff spot. The Raiders are leading 6-0. That one late in the second quarter. And Seattle is blanking Houston. That one also in a second. Back with more after this.
Tonight at 7, 6 Central, catch a special presentation of the coolest cop show on television, New York Undercover. When two young kids tangle with the New York Mafia.
2 of your juvenile delinquents assaulted my mother yesterday and stole her car.
Torres and Williams must get to them.
It's gotta be us on the street.
Before the mob does.
You got any ideas about them kids, forget them. Are you threatening me?
New York Undercover.
Those kids are dead.
On a special day and time, tonight at 7, 6 Central.
This year, more than 1,200,000 Americans will be stricken with cancer. Cancer is the cause of 1 out of every 5 deaths in the United States. I'm Harris Barton of the San Francisco 49ers, and my father was one of those statistics. I shared his story with you last year. Our whole family fought that fight with him. My mother, Joan, nursed him for 13 years when he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. The doctors did all they could, but on May 27th, he was gone. The United Way works with the American Cancer Society and their programs of research, education, and services in many cities across the nation. If you want to see cancer conquered, join me and the NFL United Way team by giving the United Way. United Way, reaching those who need help, touching us all.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
All right, and welcome to Hollywood along with Terry Bradshaw. I'm James Brown, and welcome to the Dockers Halftime Report. Green Bay, big victory over the Bears.
Packers had a great day. 100-yard rushing for Bennett. Nice day by Favre. Here you see my man Steve Walsh has the ball dropped in the air. It's picked off by Leroy Butler. 51-yard interception return down to the 4-yard line. That led to a 4-yard Edgar Bennett run. Bennett over 100-yard rushing on this day. Sterling Sharp, a big day. Quick post in the middle. Safety can't get there. 13-yard touchdown reception. First one of the day. Here's the second one. Far back. Boom! Guns it out in the flat. There he is. Inside. Over the safeties. 22 yards. Second touchdown reception by Sharp. big win today by the Packers.
And Bill Cowher's team into the playoffs 3 consecutive years.
Nice job. O'Donnell down the middle. There's your man, Andre Hastings, touchdown reception, 18 yards. Steelers had to go to 4 wideouts due to the injuries of their backs. Cunningham, lots of pressure over the middle. And Darren Perry, interception return of 38 yards. Steelers still up by 4, 7-3. And then finally, John L. Williams comes in, takes the handoff, over the guard, touchdown, 14-3 Steelers.
5 straight losses by Philadelphia, 3 straight victories by Tampa Bay.
Oh, long handoff right, fake, keep, go left, safety gets out of the middle. And then there it is, Erickson down the middle of Charles Wilson. Look at him go, 71 yards. Tampa Bay looking good at the end of the season here. That's one. You think that was good? Let's do it again. This time, hey, JB, 44 yards. Where's the safety? He's nowhere to be found. Look at this, Tampa Bay, my God, my team next year to go to the Super Bowl.
Next year.
Next year.
Wilson just as exhausted as you are.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it?
I love it. But the Rams and Bucks are both out of the playoffs. Hey, but still in the playoff picture, New England limited Marshall Faulk to 76 yards on the ground, total yardage that is, by Indianapolis, and the Patriots win at 28-13. At the Meadowlands, the Giants win their 4th consecutive game, now are at 7-7, the same record as the Philadelphia Eagles. Those two teams will meet next week at 4 o'clock right here on Fox. And also next week on Fox, Jimmy Johnson is supposed to make his decision about going to coaching or TV. Terry, you believe it?
The great Brad Rack.
Brad Rack
wants to know, what does Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and Fox Sports Television have in common?
And the answer is?
That's Jimmy Johnson. We're going to find out, really, I don't know if we're really going to find out. He says he's going to say next week, folks, whether he's going to stay with us or whether he's going to coach again. And I tell you what, I got a feeling he's going to be right here. I hope he is.
Brad Rack, a.k.a. Karnak, will also push him into a decision. We'll be back with more Doctors Halftime after this. Brad Rack.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
In San Diego, the 49ers lead the Chargers 21-3. And this first half highlight is brought to you by MCI, proof positive. And it's been mostly, in fact, just about all 49ers in the first half. Brent Jones is number 84.
Yeah, and remember, this was the second time they ran this play where Brent Jones looks like he's blocking. Then he gets lost in there. Everyone drops off. Steve Young sees him, throws him the ball, and Brent Jones dives in the end zone. But that was the second time on that drive that they completed that pass.
They even get lost well.
Yeah, they do. Well, they have so many guys going out. They get in a bunch, and they always have a short, a medium, and a deep guy, and they all, stem off their bunches, and it really puts pressure on guys like this, like Junior Seau. He's wondering, where are all these guys coming from, and then where'd they all go?
Doug Bryan set to kick it off. Andre Coleman is back deep for San Diego. Second half underway, 21-3 San Francisco. Coleman at the 3. Out of the pack. Coleman almost broke it. Flags on the play come flying from everywhere. Tripped up by the kicker, Doug Bryan.
I was just going to say, Doug Bryan was the guy. He was at that position where he was the last guy, and he made the tackle. That's always an embarrassment for any kick returner. You always tell them, get tackled, but don't let the kicker tackle you. And they're calling tripping
on the kicker
against the 49. Oh, he didn't tackle him. He tripped him?
Watch.
Oh, there's Doug Bryan right there. Oh, he did trip him. Oh, that was no tackle. I was looking at him raw eyes. I thought he tackled him.
During the return, 10 yards, first down.
Well, you got to get it done some way.
What is this? Do kickers practice this stuff? What the heck is that? It's a slide and a tackle. It's a hook slide.
It's also just a kick.
I have never seen that in my life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, does the guy practice that? You think he goes out when the other guys are practicing? Does he go out and practice that kind of tackling?
Vicious-looking guy like that.
Oh, yeah. He's from De La Salle High School in the Bay Area. In fact, his high school team just won the championship last week.
Did they?
Yeah.
With moves like that, I bet.
But you know, the only thing he can do to be president, he's gonna go for something here. I hope he's not gonna tape himself. I hope he's not gonna retape his sock
with clear tape.
Oh no. He'll probably even be in the tub tomorrow. Oh, look at that!
Well, that's the wrong leg. Take the other leg.
No, I think that's his tackling leg.
That's
not
his tripping
kickling leg.
That's his tripping leg.
Yeah. You see what? It's his left leg. No. He tripped with his right leg.
Sure.
He slid with his left leg.
I know all those moves.
Yeah, he was taping his sliding leg.
Well, all that I can understand. Tough-looking guy. Kickers. I think I was one of the first members of that fraternity.
Well, I know. You know, we're looking for all Madden players because we got our scouts and everyone out watching and looking for that stuff. And I thought when I saw it, oh, Brian made a tackle, and then I looked and that can't be. I mean,
you mean he was on the team and just got off?
Yeah, he was getting close. He was consideration, but that tackle was so bad and so ugly that it made the referee go to the telephone.
Yeah. Now they're playing Jeopardy music. They want to give him a touchdown. He would have gone.
Yeah, he would have gone. I think they're asking upstairs, has anyone up there ever seen a tackle like that?
Well, they call in the wrong place.
But here's Coleman, and the only guy there is Brian. I mean, he thinks he has touchdown, and he just gets tripped up. I guess you don't look for that. You look for a tackle.
Well, no.
You look for a helmet. You look for shoulder pads. You don't look for
that
this.
either.
No.
It's a bad hair day.
I think that's a good hair day.
Well, Tom White, the referee, is off the phone now.
Yeah, but who could he be talking to? I mean, who would Tom White be talking to? They would have to be explaining something to him
about the tripping.
Well, maybe they had to get a spot of the ball, where he was tackled.
The play clock at one end of the stadium is not operable. In this situation, the play clocks will be turned off, will be kept by the field judge on the field. And sometime in the future, if they become operable, we'll put them back in. But as of now, they'll be kept on the field.
Sometime in the future.
Well, yeah, you can't have one working and one not,
right,
because the offense can look at the play clock, so you'd only be able to look going one direction. In fact, they haven't turned that one off yet. The one to our right is off. The one to our left, that one there, is still on.
There's the one, obviously, that's off. There's the one, of course, that's on.
Maybe we have a mutiny here. Maybe they're not going to do it. Maybe they told the guy to do it, and he said no.
Guy just won't do it, you think, huh?
I think they're talking about the tackle.
I think they are, too. That tackle was made with such skill that the officials are still awestruck.
Yeah, I mean, we've had everything. I mean, we've had about a 10-minute delay. We've had the referee talking on a telephone. We've had 4 conferences. This is our 4th conference they've had. And he's calling them back. This is number 5.
Meeting.
This is breaking a record. This is most conferences on one play in the history of the National Football League.
This should be good. Tom is ready.
We are making a correction in the tripping enforcement. We'll back it up 5 yards, which is the spot of the infraction. It'll still be a first down.
That's what I thought. I thought they were talking about the spot, trying to get the spot. But they moved it back to the spot of infraction. But then they ought to give a penalty for the infraction.
You think he thought he was going to cause all this?
No, but they still got that one clock on. It's operable. They left that on, and the inoperable one is still not working.
Not operable.
Oh, we got so many problems here, Ben.
Pass is caught by Shannon Mitchell over the bench. Shirt tail out.
This is what it looks like here. You see he makes a good read. Shannon Mitchell catches it, gets control of it, and then he sees the bench and goes, whoa! And he jumped right over the bench. That's a heck of a move right there. Didn't hit anything.
2nd and 5. Means inside the 49er 40. Stopped by Tim McDonald. A couple short of a first down.
Yeah, he's getting Shannon Mitchell there as the H-back and the lead back. And he's, he left him again. Now they go with their short yardage. They bring in 2 extra offensive linemen and a linebacker, Steve Hendrickson.
And they got both clocks working now.
Well, key word being operable.
Operable, yes.
But I still don't know why they didn't give any penalty for the infraction. They put the ball back to the point of infraction, but I don't think they gave a penalty for it.
That much short of a first down. I don't know why they measured that.
Yeah, the Chargers already have their 2 extra offensive linemen, and like I said, old Steve Hendrickson, remember him, the linebacker and special teams guy for the 49ers? He comes in here as a fullback for the Chargers in short yardage.
Short, about a yard. There's Steve Hendrickson.
Number 64.
He's in the stance and ready.
Are reporting as eligible for San Diego. 64, 72.
This is.
Well, Steve Hendrickson was there ready. The lactic acid build up, and he had to stretch out again.
Didn't get enough built up.
Yeah, penetration again. That time it was Bryant Young. Remember before Norton did it. This time you're going to see number 97, Bryant Young, knife through. You see he's going to knife through right there, and he caught it from the backside. They had the onside block pretty well, and Bryant Young is going to come right here from this backside, and he's going to knife right through here. You see they got that motion going. They're going to have the lead. And here comes Young right down the line. He got inside his guard and beat him there.
They're going on 4th. Humphries back to throw. He'll have the first down to Kapunu. And the Chargers move inside the 49er 35, about the 33.5-yard line.
Yeah, that was an interesting pattern. It was a lot like the 49ers are doing. They, kind of overload a zone. They had 3 guys in there, and you just find the uncovered guy who was Papuna.
49ers lead 21-3. We're in the 3rd quarter. Humphries fumbled the exchange from center. Got it back. Courtney Hall is the center, playing with all kinds of injuries, but still playing well nevertheless.
Well, he has a bad knee and a torn bicep. Courtney Hall does, and it's tough to play in this league against those 2 tackles, Dana Stubblefield and Bryant Young, when you got all your parts working right.
3 wide receivers. Stubblefield's not playing. Remember, he twisted his knee. Pass is caught. That's close to another Charger first down by Mark Say, who was with the 49ers.
I think that's Mark Say's first catch of the day. He's going to be out there. He's up on top, and you just see him just run a little hook. Just comes up and stops right in front of Deion Sanders. Why Deion Sanders is playing so far off of Mark Say, I have no idea.
3rd and short. About a yard shy, maybe a little bit less.
In fact, I wonder, well, it's short yardage. I was going to say the 49ers are taking Deion Sanders out because it's short yardage.
Timeout taken by San Diego. So they'll only have 2 to work with down the stretch. 3rd and short. Means and Hendrickson behind Humphrey. Means He maybe got enough. They needed only about a yard.
I think he got that, but in their short yardage, they've really been having a problem with that backside. I mean, every time some 49er is sneaking in that backside. And this time I think they get enough here, but you see they get the onside blocked pretty well. And then the backside is where they get the pressure. The onside's the right side, but you see from the left side right there, that's where they've been having all their problems in short yardage today.
That's Red Hall, who came from the backside that time. Means the ball carrier around the corner and heads out of bounds. Inside the 49er 20.
I don't know, when you're down 21-3, I don't know, you know, maybe it's just different, but I think when you get outside like that and you come close to the sideline, you turn the ball upfield.
Especially when you're packing 245 pounds.
I think so, and you're running out there where they got, you know, defensive backs and Deion Sanders out there. I think you make those guys tackle.
Second. They need 4. Hit right at the line of scrimmage, and there's nothing there.
You say Bryant Young is still in there. Red Hall's playing for Dana Stubblefield. We saw Stubblefield get hurt just before the end of the half. Number 91 is Red Hall. 97 is Bryant Young.
And look at his helmet. If we get a closer look in a minute, that's Red Hall. But Young's helmet has got all kind of streaks on it. Contact on every play.
And he's been using that cockeyed stance in there some, and they call that the mug technique.
Humphries, first down. Ronnie Harmon.
You can't beat that field sound there, Pat. When Ronnie Harmon caught the ball, he ran right into the field sound. Well, this is the sound. There's the sound guy, that green thing. You know what worries me about that? Is you got a Fox guy down there with a sound thing, and he looks like he likes it. He wants some action. He gets too many of those hits, he won't be sticking his tongue out.
Here's Means. Charger touchdown. Now that is a man who wanted to score.
That was the way to run it.
Yep.
Square up those shoulders and just take everything with you. That time before when he went out of bounds, that wasn't the way to do it.
Chargers might be going for 2. Humphries is still in. They will go for 2. Means is out.
Yeah, with Means out, he needs another running back in there because he only has 10 guys in there in that huddle right now.
The enemy
he's
checks
coming
in.
The enemy can't know the play. He's the only back there. He wasn't even in the huddle.
Humphries up under the center.
Has to be a pass.
Quarterback draw. Not successful. 21-9. Bobby Ross's team moves closer.
Mitchell here. He's going to come in and wham block the nose tackle here. Natron Means or runs are right off that wham block. We watch Shannon Mitchell, number 89. He's going to come in and he's going to wham right there. And then Means sees that. That makes the hole for him, and Means does the rest of it.
And the rest of it is a Means wham. That's Dexter Carter. Still on his feet and finally wrestled down at about the 25. And here's a good look at what 245 pounds coming at you.
Yeah, we saw Hall getting whammed right there. And then watch Means wham Eric Davis. Hanks misses. He just runs right over Eric Davis right there. And then he's going to get that ball in the end zone. Merton Hanks misses a tackle. Eric Davis just gets run over.
That's the only way to describe it. First and 10, San Francisco at their own 25. Here's Steve Young back to throw. Pass caught by Rice. Gordon close but not close enough to stop Rice.
Yeah, if you look at who Steve Young threw to, you can see that he 10 to the wide receivers for 127 yards, 3 to the tight ends. That was Brent Jones, and only 1 pass to the running back. So they came into this game and they're going to throw to their wide receivers. I think of that group, they've thrown to 3 wide receivers.
McCaffrey one. Flag on the play. Report from the Chargers is that Natron Means has a bruised knee, but will be back.
False start. Number 74. Offense, 5 yards. Moving prior to the snap. First down.
Yeah, Means looks like he's okay there. He's up and walking around anyway. Number 74 was Steve Wallace with the false start.
That'll make it 1st and 15. 21-9. San Francisco leading. Young, quick, outside Brent Jones. Jones gets to the Charger 35 before he's knocked out of bounds. More speed from Brent Jones than I remember.
Well, here's Brent Jones right here, and he's going to get to the point. The guy that he outruns is Junior Seau. You're going to see him just come out here on a short out. Watch Seau here come to get him. He just puts his straight arms him. Then he does outrun a couple of guys. But Junior Seau isn't Junior Seau.
No.
I mean, when you can just put your arm out like that and stop Junior Seau, he's not the Junior Seau I've heard about.
Reverse to Rice. Inside the 20 to about the 18 before he's down by Stanley Richard.
I think a lot of players can learn from Jerry Rice that when you get close to that sideline, you don't have to go out of bounds. I think so many runners are going out of bounds now that the defenses expect you to go out of bounds. Good block there, good block there. But see, when he gets here, now instead of going out of bounds, he cuts back, and by cutting back, he makes about 8 more yards. I think there's a lesson in that for a lot of players in this league.
A lot of things Jerry Rice does are lessons. On first down, it's Ricky Waters. Inside the 15, about the 14.
That's what Darian Gordon was talking about yesterday. You know, Darian Gordon, who's playing a lot against Jerry Rice, is from Stanford, and when he was at Stanford, he worked out with Jerry Rice, and he said he learned a lot from him. And he said after the game, he said he won't talk to him before the game, but after the game, he hopes that in this game he can just earn Jerry Rice's respect.
2nd and 6. Here's Steve Young quickly outside. That's to Rice again to the 5.
You know, the thing the 49ers do better than anyone else is run after the catch. If you look at this, their total pass yards, they've caught for 217. But 132 of that is rack or run after the catch. So they almost, you know, they catch the ball and then almost double it after they catch it.
1st and goal at the 6. Waters to the 3. Leslie O'Neal.
There's George Seifert. George doesn't look like he's going to show any emotion. You'd think, you know, with a 21-9 lead, you're down there in the 3-yard line, you'd kind of be happy about that, George. George isn't going to be happy about anything this year, I think, until they beat Dallas or win a championship game or win a Super Bowl game.
That is his focus. Ricky Waters.
Don't go out of bounds.
Did go out of bounds.
I know.
About the 4.
That's the type of thing that they do.
From the 3-yard line, their touchdowns: 6 by Steve Young, 3 by William Floyd, 3 by Ricky Waters, 5 passing touchdowns. They're at the 6th now. They lost yardage on that play.
But I was talking about that lesson that Jerry Rice did on that reverse.
Yep.
I think Ricky Waters could learn that lesson.
3rd down. Waters. It wasn't there. Waters got a yard, maybe stopped by Sean Lee. But here comes Doug Bryan. Attempt a field goal.
As we were just talking about, this is the area. And again, the 49ers, I think, are the best team in football. I think their offense is the best offense in football. But if you say any area that they have trouble in, it's this area, and specifically running in this area.
Do you think it has anything to do with the size of the offensive linemen? They're all very talented, but not very big.
Yeah, it could.
The field goal from 22 yards away. Successful by Bryant, 24-9. Mike Shanahan on the right, talking with his quarterback, Steve Young. The two architects of the 49er offense.
I think they're arguing. I think because Steve Young came off the field and he was really mad. They ran that run on 2nd down, that run on 3rd down. I don't think he was happy with the play call.
Coleman this time is hit hard and taken down by Anthony Peterson. And the Chargers have a long way to go. 4:07 left, 3rd quarter. Murphy Stadium in San Diego, where the 49ers lead the Chargers 24-9. 4:07 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Dana Stubblefield saw him leave just before halftime with a bandage around his knee. Now he's back on the sideline in street clothes, so obviously he won't be back. Humphries has the ball batted down. Bryant Young had another strong game today.
Yeah, he and Stubblefield have really been powerful in that middle. You're going to see him get the rush straight up the middle, number 97, and you just get up as far as you can, and then when you can't get any further, when he throws, just put your hand up. Now, one thing, Young got his right hand up, but Stan Humphries threw that ball too low. I mean, you can't throw it through that lane.
The enemy is the deep back. Humphries fake to him. Got a man open. Shannon Mitchell gets into 49er territory. The rookie free agent tight end from Georgia.
But here he is. He's right here. He's lined up like a back. And what they're doing is they're working a zone where Deion Sanders would be. What they want to do is Deion Sanders plays man in a zone. So they want to run Deion off, run off on that side, and then get another receiver into that area.
1st and 10 Chargers at the 49er 42. Humphries back to throw it again. Going deep and throws it out of bounds. Tony Martin. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, earlier today, Minnesota not only lost the game, will make that Buffalo not only lost the game, but its starting quarterback Jim Kelly hit here by Henry Thomas, the tackle of the Vikings late in the game. Early diagnosis, sprained left knee, and MRI will be conducted tomorrow. Let's take it back to San Diego. Pat and John.
2nd and 10 Chargers. Eric Bieniemy. Stopped by Gary Plummer.
Maybe we thought that Natron Means was okay and was going to get back in there. Remember on that touchdown play, he hurt his knee, and maybe that knee isn't okay.
I don't even see him.
Yeah, he's right down in front. I can see him. He's about the 45-yard line, standing there in the sideline. He has his helmet on and strapped, so his mind is saying he can play.
3rd and 7. 4 wide receivers for the Chargers this time. 49ers blitz. It's picked up pretty well. The man open, wide open. He had a 1st down. finally spun back to get it. Tony Martin. Deion Sanders on the stop.
You're going to see Tony Martin here, and then you get 3 wide receivers. See in that bunch, you get a short one, here's a short one, here's a medium one, and here's a deep one. So you got short. If they come up short, then you're going to hit the medium. See, they came up short, and then Martin was just wide open. And if they all go off, then they can hit the short guy. If they come up, they can hit the deep guy. So you kind of get that thing in layers.
1st and 10. Means is back in the backfield for the Charger. Humphries gets it out to Means. Gets inside the 25 to about the 23 before he is wrestled down by Lee Woodall and Gary Plummer.
One thing about Means, when he gets a ball and he gets his shoulder squared, it takes a whole bunch of guys to jump on him to get him to hit the ground. I mean, he is a bigger running back. You have 5'10", 245 pounds, and those guys that are short, those short, heavy guys, are the toughest guys to tackle.
That's a lot of weight packed into a small package.
Yeah,
short package. It's not small.
No, yeah, but you don't have a lot of area to hit there and grab onto.
2nd down and 4. Means the ball carrier. Well, if you get him from behind, as Tim McDonald did.
That's the secret there. You have to get him before he gets started, and that's what happens to these Chargers when they start to run. Then they start getting a safety up in there. See, and this is why you better stop him before he gets going, because if he gets going, it takes a whole bunch of them to get you. And then the next play, Bryant Young got him, and they blitzed Tim McDonald. They brought another safety in there.
A little rodeo move by Merton Hanks.
He was trying everything.
Yeah. 3rd and 5.
Everything to get Means down the ground.
Ronnie Harmon is the man on the move. Pass is caught. That'll be another Charger 1st down. Clock running with about 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The Chargers are on the move.
You see Harmon comes in motion. He works to the outside. Then the outside receiver comes to the inside. Stan Humphries hits him perfectly.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The 49ers 24, the Chargers 9. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. Quarter to go, and the 49ers leading 24-9, but the Chargers with a 1st down at the San Francisco 16. Stan Humphries. 8 out of 10 in the 2nd half. Gets it out to Shannon Mitchell. Short game to about the 13. Taken down by Lee Woodall.
Yeah, this is the thing that the Chargers had to do. They got a little running going. You know, Means started going crazy, you know, ran that touchdown. Then they got him going. Now they can get their passing game going. But if they don't have a running game going, their passing game can't carry them.
2nd and 8. Bieniemy behind Humphries. Flag on the play. Chargers might have jumped.
You see that face mask on Harry Swain there?
That is a monster.
False start. Number 84, offense, 5 yards, moving prior to the snap. Still 2nd down.
Talk about a cage.
Yeah, well, he injured his eye orbit. In fact, a year ago, he broke his eye orbit. So that cage is there to protect his eye. The orbit or the bones around the eye that forms the eye socket. So he got a lot of protection up in there.
Tell you what, that thing's got to be heavy. Here's Humphrey. Down he goes. Bryant Young again.
Bryant Young has really been giving this Charger team trouble today, not only on the pass and the pass rush, but also on the run. You just watch him here, and again, he's playing nose tackle now. And you see him, he starts up against the center and the guard. They both leave him. The guard goes to the right, Courtney Hall goes to the left, and Brian Young just runs straight up the middle.
That's a funny looking move. When they both just leave him.
Yeah, that's confusing. That's not being on the same page.
Ronnie Harmon in the backfield, and Humphries drops to throw it. Incomplete. No flag intended for Harmon. Humphries was hurried. Tim Harris again.
Well, he's been hurried all day. You see, he's only been sacked twice. Been hurried 8 times, been knocked down 4. Had 1 batted pass and 1 interception. The 49ers have been hurrying, but when he's had time, and especially in the second half, he's gotten some things going.
John Carney from 42 yards away. Gilbert is the holder, the backup quarterback. Carney wide right. And the lead remains 20-49 San Francisco. Steve Young back to throw it. Gets it to Ricky Waters. Past the 35 to the 36. Tackled by Junior Seau.
He's really doing a good job for the 49ers now is Harris Barton. He had that torn tricep. Then he came back. He thought maybe a little too early. But lately, in the last couple of games, he's really been blocking well. I mean, just watch him here in his pass protection. And you just see he's right there. I mean, he has his arms up. He's square. I mean, his guy is not getting a sniff. And that's Chris Mims, who was really a pretty good player.
Harris had a concussion last week, but snapped back from that. Steve Young to John Taylor to the 44. Stanley Richard made the stop.
Yeah, and Steve Young was saying yesterday how happy he is to have Harris Barton back there. He says, that's my backside.
Since he is left-handed.
Here he is again, and you just watch him block Mims. You see, he tries to get that arm under. He just rides him right out, stays with his guy all the time.
That's great footwork.
Here in Ohio, we
by Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz.
49er 1st and 10. Floyd to the 40. Stopped by David Griggs. Steve Young has hit 7 straight passes. 49ers lead at 24-9.
Ricky Jackson was talking about Steve Young the other day, and he says that, the difference between night and day and all that stuff. He said Steve Young is day, everyone else is night. So I think that's Ricky Jackson's way of saying he's the most valuable player in this league.
He can light it up. 8 straight, I'm sorry. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, a sustained drive by Arizona. 10 plays, 80 yards, culminated with that Ron Moore 1-yard touchdown run. And Arizona keeping the playoff hopes alive on top of Washington, 14-6, that in the 4th. Back to San Diego. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
3rd and short at Jack Murphy Stadium. Jerry Rice has gone over 100 yards receiving for the 48th time in his career with that catch a moment ago. 2nd best in NFL history. That's Floyd. Burrowing close to a 1st down. Not quite, I don't think.
And that's the 49ers problem. They still get that short yardage situation, and they come up with too many not quites. When you get 3rd and short, you got to bang that thing in there. And maybe it is a line, maybe it's the type of runs they run. This is kind of a inside handoff lead type of thing. No one blocks Leslie O'Neal. He gets penetration. So now they have to go for it on 4th down. How the quarterback sneak.
Steve Young left, and he'll get it. That's the most consistent Running play they have.
Yeah, and short yardage. Watch Steve Young. He's going to find a gap. It looks like he's going to come here and find. Look at this gap right here. I think is the one he's going to hit. Because see, he waits a little, waits for Jesse Cipolla to come down, and then he runs right off number 61's block. Watch him. He's going to bank himself off Steve Wallace. He runs into Steve Wallace and then just banks himself back into Bart Oates. But that worries you when the only way you can pick up a first down on short yardage is your quarterback sneaking all the time. And somewhere your fullback has to be able to bang it in there for you.
Especially when fullback weighs 245 pounds. You'd figure that's the way to get it. 4th most career rushing yards.
And I'll tell you, he doesn't like that. I mean, I have never met a quarterback in my life. Now, Steve Young, I know he's in his zone. I know he's hot. I know he's all these things. But I have never met a quarterback in my life that liked the quarterback sneak.
He's not in a running zone. He doesn't want to be. He is, but he doesn't want to be.
He runs a nice quarterback sneak.
Ricky Waters. Inside the Charger 30. Stopped by Stanley Richard.
You say, why don't they run a play like that on short yardage? Watch William Floyd block on this one because the defenses are different on first down than they are short yardage and goal line. Here they have to play pass. They're getting up the field. They're looser in the line, and you can hit things like this. But it's when they all get tight when you have to be able to pound it in there.
Waters got 5, 2nd and 5. Young. Jerry Rice to about the 9. Stopped by Darian Gordon. Young was hit as he let it go.
Well, he has his helmets on sideways there. I mean, he is going to get hit as he let it go. You see, Harris Barton there was his man we were talking about earlier. That was Chris Mims there. He went right around Harris Barton. Steve Young was talking about how comfortable he feels from that backside protection. He didn't feel comfortable on that one. He almost got his helmet knocked off.
First and goal at the 9. Steve Young. Ricky Waters. Diving.
I had the cone, baby. Oh. No.
You heard him say, I had the cone.
I think he called the official baby. He said, I hit the cone, baby.
That's why he didn't get the touchdown.
That sound guy down there is smiling too much.
He's liking it.
Let's see if he does. Again, the thing is with the cone or the pylon is out of bounds.
That's right.
The pylon's out of bounds, so he has to have the ball inside the pylon. So he hit the pylon, he did, but the pylon's out of bounds.
About a half-yard short. Touchdown, 49ers. We're tired of hearing that stuff that we can't score running unless it's a quarterback. Floyd gets the touchdown.
Well, that's what they have to be able to do. Yeah, just take that big fullback and just put it in there. He's wearing one of those Band-Aids on his nose. Yep. William Floyd is. That opens your sinus and helps your breathing.
Notice you had one on last night. Did it help?
It helped. I tried one, and I thought, those things, I don't believe they help it, but I tried it, and it worked. I haven't breathed through my nose in years.
I haven't either. The extra point is good.
There it is. You see how that thing opens the sinus. That just pulls the sinuses open, and you can breathe through your nose better. Then if they call you for short yardage, you can just run like that if you got that thing on your nose.
I need a wider size. The 49ers are rolling 31-9. Bryant's kick handled by Andre Coleman to the 27. Antonio Goss made the stop. I don't know what he said, but I know he can breathe.
He says it's
got some hot dogs in the cage.
Those are bad-looking hot dogs. You got the Simpsons out there, huh?
Yeah.
I think there's a special 1 hour Simpsons this week I heard something about.
I think I said it.
That's where I heard it. I think it was a Christmas special. I think that was when I said ho, ho, ho.
It was. And I didn't know it was you. Ronnie Harmon tackled by Ken Norton.
You know, I think Ken Norton is finally starting to feel comfortable in this 49er defense the last couple of weeks. He's played pretty well, you know, a couple of weeks ago and last week, and today maybe played his best game.
Humphries open as Tony Martin stepped out of bounds.
Deion Sanders must be playing zone defense because he's laying off way too far. I mean, that's not like Deion. I mean, Deion is here, and he's so far off of Tony Martin that Tony Martin can run, but Deion Sanders is probably the fastest defensive back in the league. Now, he wasn't man-to-man there. He was playing some form of zone that he admittedly doesn't play very well.
Humphries back to throw it. Pass is caught by Papunu.
You know, last week we were talking to Tim McDonald, and he said that he was laughing at Deion Sanders, and all the players like Deion Sanders and respect him, but he'll brag about playing a no-hitter.
Humphries, pass complete to Martin again. Martin out of bounds.
Again, the 49ers are going into zone defense, and here's Martin. Here's Deion there, number 21. You see he's playing off. See, he's looking back at the quarterback. Now he looks back here. Now Martin can do anything in behind him. Once he gets behind him, he can just find that hole, and Humphries hits him perfectly.
They've had more success than anybody we've seen against the 49ers against number 21.
Well, usually number 21's playing man-to-man. He's been playing zone here, and he's playing a soft zone.
25 seconds. And both clocks will start at the same time.
And Deion Sanders doesn't like to play zone, and as I said before, he doesn't play it very well. This is not his thing. In fact, he doesn't look like he's very happy about it. Or maybe it's just a score of 31-9.
That could have something to do with it.
Thank you.
Thank you. What did he say?
Oh, I don't know. They've been messing with that clock and the time and how much time there is all day.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the San Diego Chargers and the National Football League is prohibited. Humphries back to throw. Could have been close to the 49er goal line. Mark Say. Humphries was high.
That's one problem the Chargers have been having this year is their wide receivers dropping passes. A couple of weeks ago, Tony Martin dropped 2 touchdown passes. Sean Jefferson has dropped some passes. Mark Say dropped some passes, and they just aren't good enough to drop passes.
Here's Humphries back again. Gets away from pressure. Throws it out of the end zone. Flag on the play.
Humphries pass.
Tim Harris was close to Stan Humphries. Might have hit him late.
Yep, you're right, he did. You know, Tim Harris, 49ers signed him a few weeks ago. They pay him $10,000 a game and $5,000 for a sack.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. San Francisco.
Do they take anything away when he gets a penalty?
I don't think so, but he did earn $5,000 today because he had 1 sack. So he's up to $15,000 worth of work today. And like I said, I don't think when he has a penalty, I don't think they take anything away.
First and goal at the 9, 3 wide receivers. Ronnie Harmon in the backfield. He'll come out of it. Harmon comes out with the draw play and might have lost a yard.
Yeah, it looked like Red Hall saw that play.
They're getting ready.
Well, that cannon, yeah. You know, that thing is on the visitor's side. I remember when I used to come here as a coach, it'd drive you crazy because it's on your sideline, and it goes off anytime the Chargers score.
Humphries in a hurry. Incomplete. Intended for Mark Say.
That's incomplete.
They even got a director's chair over there by that cannon with the name on it. Cannon.
I'll tell you, every visiting team hates that cannon, and probably the crew. I mean, the guy's probably a nice guy, but first of all, you're mad when they score, and then you're mad when they blast that thing right at you. Then a lot of guys jump when the Chargers have scored in this field.
Third. And they're still at the 10. Here comes the 49er blitz. Humphries gets the pass down to about the 2 to Tony Martin. Eric Davis. That'll make it 4th and goal from there. No cannon yet. Charger timeout. The enemy. Well, reload again. Yeah, no chance. Right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Well, Pat, the cannon won't go off there, but it is for Heath Schuler. He likes the big play. Here he finds Henry Eller for 52 of his 176 receiving yards and the score. Unfortunately, the 2-point conversion fails, so Washington trails by 2 with less than 4 minutes to play. Let's take it back to San Diego. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Back here at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, it's 31-15. San Francisco leading. 5:28 left to play.
And you'd think the Charger special teams there huddling up are probably thinking of an onside kick.
And the 49ers certainly are expecting.
You can see they got what they call their hands team in there. Brent Jones, McDonald, McCaffrey, Jerry Rice is in there. Ricky Waters.
Merton Hanks.
Nate Singleton. So you got an onside kick team and then an onside prevent team. A lot of times you'll read this and the Chargers could see an onside kick prevent team and decide just to kick the ball deep or to try and kick it in a deeper hole and get the recovery there rather than a true onside kick.
Dexter Carter back deep way by himself for the 49ers. Gonna kick it away like you said.
Get on here.
At the 10. Dexter gets out of bounds at the 29-yard line where the 49ers take over. San Diego only has 1 timeout remaining. And you watched that yesterday happen to Dallas down in the stretch when they had no timeouts remaining, and it was just hard to maneuver.
Right, and you see the Chargers are going to have to maneuver without Natron Means. Remember that touchdown he scored? He hurt his knee then. Thought it was okay. He came in and played a couple plays after that, but I guess he just decided that it wasn't.
Handoff is to Floyd. Floyd for about 7 again. Let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Pat, and just that quickly, Washington scores again on their next possession. Chip Lohmiller having a rough day, but he scores here on a 21-yard field goal, and the Redskins are in front by 1. Let's take it back down the road to San Diego. Pat Summerall, John Madden.
49er ball, 2nd and about 3. Steve Young still throwing. Gets to Jerry Rice. Rice will get the 49er first down. Dragged down by Darian Gordon.
You know, one thing Darian Gordon was saying about Jerry Rice is you never want to let him get even with you because when he's even, he's leaving. And that's one thing that Jerry Rice does. He catches the ball and he's always leaving. I mean, a lot of guys catch it and they get so satisfied with their catch that they're ready to go down. I mean, Jerry Rice runs a pattern, gets open, catches a ball, and then leaves.
He's caught 10 passes today. 1st and 10, 49ers. Young gives to Ricky Waters. Waters spun it around for maybe a yard. Junior Seau is the first man to hit him.
Junior Seau has been having a tough day. He has that stinger in that left shoulder and arm, and then he hurt his left knee early in the game, and he's sure not the Junior Seau today that we've seen before.
You wonder at what point do you take a Junior Seau out of a game like this when he's not playing his best and can't play his best.
They probably heard you because they just took him out on that play.
Here's Steve Young. That's Rice again. And there's no running out of bounds for Jerry Rice.
And there's always running. I mean, there's always taking the ball and, you know, and running the thing forward. Always thinking of getting first downs, breaking tackles, scoring touchdowns. Always playing the game. And he knows how to play the game, and he loves to play the game. I mean, he goes out there and plays and has fun, and sometimes we forget that it's still a game and you ought to have fun, and that's what it's all about.
There may have been better players, better receivers than Jerry Rice. I can't remember ever seeing one.
I don't think so. I mean, if I had to pick them, the ones I know, I would say Jerry Rice is the best wide receiver that ever played the game.
And he has the numbers to go with it. That's Floyd again. But numbers aren't everything. It's the way he plays and the spirit that he plays the game in.
Yeah, and the way he works and the way he practices and the influence that he has on other players and just the confidence. I mean, I think if you're a quarterback like a Steve Young and you're bringing Jerry Rice out there with you, I think that's a certain amount of confidence. And maybe that's why you could be 24 for 31 and have 12 straight completions.
299 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, the great-grandson, I think, of Brigham Young. I'm not sure about the greats. I know about the Brigham Young part. But great certainly would fit as an adjective to describe his performance today and this year. And his.
I was saying the other day that Steve Young was probably one of those guys that just never did anything wrong. Probably always got an A in deportment. And he didn't know what deportment meant. He said, well, I never took sociology class. Well, deportment means you're good. You're being good in school.
How you behave.
Yeah, how you behave.
What did you get in deportment?
I never did too well in deportment.
I was below average too.
Yeah, I never flunked deportment, but I was like, you know, C and D.
Borderline.
No charge timeout to San Diego. They can come off that timeout because of the measurement. Therefore, they are not charged. 4th down.
Come off a timeout.
I think he said they could, and then I think San Diego said they wanted a timeout.
Well, they still got one left if they don't come off it.
He said what? Steve Young's been going on and off the field. Jerry Rice went on and off the field. The officials are saying they could come off. Now he's going to talk again. They did. I knew they took that timeout.
You can't come off. You just can't come off like that.
I knew right when he said it, San Diego asked for a timeout. I knew it. That was going to embarrass him, so he wanted to wait.
2:21 left to play in the game. 31-15. 49ers lead.
That's Gary Kubiak right there, right next to Steve Young, who Steve Young credits him with a lot of help. You know, of just being an ex-quarterback. Remember when he was a backup for years to John Elway? And remember Bill Walsh always said that he thought Gary Kubiak would be a good coach. And
don't forget next Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific, to start your day with our Fox NFL special as JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you ready for an NFC Central matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, a game which promises many playoff implications. It's a Fox NFL special next Saturday, and it's right here on Fox.
Look, they're even holding the babies up.
Yeah.
Look at that. Do you hold the babies up? Can you believe what they just did?
4th and 1. Young to Rice. And he trips out of bounds and gets the first down.
That's the confidence I was talking about right there. That you just bring a guy out like Jerry Rice, and whatever the situation, you have confidence in him.
13 straight for Steve Young.
Look at this ratio. This is an amazing statistic of the active quarterbacks, their touchdown to interception ratio. In other words, for every time they throw an interception, how many touchdowns do they throw? Steve Young, every time he throws an interception, he throws 2 touchdowns. Joe Montana was 1-9, Dan Marino 1-7, Randall Cunningham 1-4, and Jim Kelly 1-4. But I think that 2 is probably the best that's ever been.
Well, I think it is. Those are the active quarterbacks. Look at against the Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Yeah, Roger Staubach of the Hall of Fame was the closer 1-4 every touchdown pass. He'd have 1-4 touchdowns to interceptions. And Steve Young, if you put him in with the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, his TD interception ratio would be better than any of them.
Well, that's the kind of year he's had, kind of career he's had.
Yeah,
you forget about those early years at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and he just takes care of the ball well, and he makes good reads and makes good decisions, and he makes them quickly. How did those guys get here? And how did they get such good seats? Right down here in the 50-yard line, there's 49er fans and 49er jerseys in front of us. And you wonder how they got such good seats.
I don't think they've been there all day.
Well, maybe that's the secret.
Some of those people with the Charger attire on exited, and the 49ers came to get closer. That's Ricky Waters. Got a first down. Acted as if he were a little bit disgusted with himself that time for running out of bounds.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that he has to work on, is some moves on the sidelines to stay out of bounds. Now I know, the score 31-15, that maybe that's not important right now, but I think as they go, the 49ers are getting prepared to win a Super Bowl. That's what their goal is. I think those things are important in that goal.
That's Waters again. Leans to the 30. Leslie O'Neal is number 91, who stopped him. And we'll get the 2-minute warning. The 49ers again impressive. Lead 31-15.
The Honda factory in Ohio, where side by side, at the exact same time, we build Accords with both left side and right side steering wheels.
Of New York undercover. It'll be seen following football, except on the West Coast, where it'll be seen at its regular time. Following that, back-to-back episodes of The Simpsons. 2 minutes left at Jack Murphy Stadium. 49ers 31, Chargers 15.
Well, the 49ers surely look like a playoff team, and the Chargers surely don't look like a playoff team today.
Elvis Gerbach is the quarterback, left it on the ground.
I think that's the thing. I think the 49ers are on that road. That road that's taking them, leading them into the playoffs, getting them into position to have a bye the first week, and all those things, and be peaking as they go into the playoffs.
Steve Wallet with the double helmet.
He said that thing really gives him a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
That
he has some nicknames that go with it too.
They call him Kazoo or something.
Yeah.
Kazoo.
Big head. Derek Lavelle and Adam Walker are the two runners. That's Walker. Gary Plummer, the ex-Charger, and today they won one for him. They won one for Ricky Jackson, who came from the Saints. Toy Cook from the same team. Deion Sanders from the Falcons. They won 2 for Charles Mann. They beat the Redskins. For Ken Norton, they beat the Cowboys. And today, for Gary Plummer, they beat the Chargers. I think they had other reasons as well.
Yeah, they did. They had a lot of other reasons, but I think we're going to see more and more of that with this salary cap and free agency, that guys are going to be playing against their ex-teammates all over the place.
4th and 3. Adam Walker, the ball carrier, didn't get the first down. The Chargers send their offensive unit back on the field with no timeouts left.
And I think that maybe the 49ers and Carmen Policy and Eddie DeBartolo, John McVay, I think they have the right idea that you keep your core, you get a good offensive core and you keep them, and then you go out and through free agency you build a defense. Early in the season your offense carries you, and then your hope that your defense will mold together by the end of the season.
Don't you think that's a pretty good philosophy? Here's Humphries back to throw it. Puts it out to Ronnie Harmon. It takes longer, I think, to mold a player into an offensive unit than it does into a defensive.
Yeah, and you have to have the offense and you have to have the quarterback, and if you don't have it, it's hard to be a championship team. Like I say, the Chargers are just one game away from clinching their division, but they're not playing playoff football.
No.
The 49ers have clinched, and they are playing playoff football.
And after watching the 49ers today, I still think I agree with you that they are the best team around. Pass incomplete.
But the Cowboys, those injuries are starting to catch up with them, and you know, losing yesterday you know, slips them down another notch.
3rd down, San Diego. Humphries to throw it. Settling out to Tony Martin. Got it down at the 20 of San Francisco. Stopped by Dana Hall. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Another look.
And that's one thing that Tony Martin can do, and he did it to Eric Davis. If you're even, you're leaving. Martin can run, and he can get open deep, and he got even, and then he left.
Here's Humphries again. Pass is picked off by Deion Sanders.
And he's leaving.
And Deion makes the high step.
He's not done yet.
89 yards, Deion Sanders. Still have 32 seconds left.
You know, anytime he gets his hands on the ball, the guy can score with it.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying you ought to play some offense, you ought to be a kick returner, because when he gets the ball, they don't even get close to him.
He says, I'm about entertainment.
I guess that's what that is.
I guess. O'Brien will attempt the extra point. Doug Bryan, who made that memorable tackle on a kickoff earlier. Deion Sanders just took it 89 yards for a 38-15 San Francisco lead. I'd like to welcome those of you who watched Arizona come back and beat Washington 17-15. Welcome to Jack Murphy Stadium, and look what just happened.
Yep, the Chargers were ready to get another touchdown here, but they made a mistake of throwing on Deion Sanders. And when Deion catches it, I mean, Deion Sanders is the fastest player in this league. And when he catches it, he just runs it straight up and no one can get him. I bet you in his life he was never it.
I bet not.
That's the end of the dance.
Yeah.
That's the period on the period on the thing, and then he hugs the coach. Because he was getting until that point,
Yeah.
I felt Deion Sanders was getting bored with this game.
Yeah.
The 49ers were playing a lot more zone than he likes to, and he was kind of out of it and just sitting there, and they were catching some passes in front of him and stuff, and looked like he was a little down, but that got the life back in him.
Brand's kickoff will be handled by Andre Coleman. And down he goes with 25 seconds left. Anthony Peterson made the stop. 38-15 San Francisco.
You know, Deion's not even breathing hard. Some guys run 100 yards, and you know it takes them a while. Especially, you know, baseball players. You ever see a baseball player run a triple?
That baseball player.
Yeah, and then they have to stand there on third base for about a half hour to get some oxygen back in their head. I mean, he ran 100 yards. He's back out there. He's not even breathing heavy.
25 seconds left. Stan Humphries back to throw again. Pass caught by Ronnie Harmon.
I think if I were the Chargers, I'd just run that clock out and just get off the field and go home and think about next one.
That's what's going to happen coming up on the NASDAQ Stock Market Post-Game Report. JB, Terry, and Howie will get you up to date on all of today's action with scores and highlights from around the NFL. That's all next on the NASDAQ Stock Market Post-Game Report. Final score here at Jack Murphy Stadium. San Francisco 38, San Diego 15.